She said black people can't be racist because black people have no power. It's like,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
what the fuck are you talking about? Welcome back to Cancer Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on your way in. Guys, I'm trying to stop being broke. And the only way you going to help me with that is by hitting that like and subscribe button. It takes a couple of seconds, man. I mean, I'm trying to make as much content as possible for you guys, trying to release it in a timely manner. And the only thing I need from y'all is to hit that like and subscribe button. Fuck with your boy. Today's topic is going to be Africans and African Americans getting together on the cut. I think they're doing Truth or Drink. So I think we're going to get a lot of questions and a lot of perspectives from two completely different sides of the aisle, even though I don't necessarily think those aisles are two completely different sides. The premise of the video kind of makes it that. So we're going to get right into it.
What does the N word mean to you?
I hate that word, but have I used it with the A sound before? Yeah, with my close friends.
I don't like I don't like when Africans say it.
I'm sorry, what?
Hi.
What's up?
Hi. I'm Taisida.
I'm Abdul.
I'm Khalif.
I'm Jordan.
We're doing Africans versus African Americans Truth or Drink.
It's not really verses, but
Well,
it's just,
and
Black girl, African gentleman.
I'm hella African.
I'm black. Hey.
First generation, both my parents were born and raised in Nigeria. My tribe is Igbo.
Me too, love. Both my parents were born and raised in Nigeria too. I am not Igbo, but we got that in common.
Period.
Yeah. They're the best
Well,
tribe.
my tribe is Compton, and I stand on that.
You want to start with the shot?
yeah, sure.
I like Hennessy.
How you gonna take my shot glass?
I was pouring you a shot. You know I'm a gentleman.
to being black.
To being black, yeah. Who do you... Okay.
Okay, first off, the only problem that I have with this video is the basic premise of this video so far. And it's that Africans and African Americans are somehow different, which I just don't identify with at all, just because I think most people wouldn't be able to tell. And especially me, because I've gotten this a lot, where most people aren't able to tell just off the bat that you're either African or African American just from your appearance. So it's like the premise of the video just being like Africans and African Americans and kind of highlighting the differences between us, which there are some differences, but I don't think they're glaring enough to be able to make a video completely centered around that.
Why did I get started off spicy? Who do you think gets laid more, Africans or African Americans?
Africans, to be honest, because snow bunnies are there, so therefore they want a taste of everything, right?
Yeah, like cultural sampling, yeah.
What is a snow bunny?
Yeah, you got to clarify that one.
A white girl that likes African Americans or Africans or just black people in general.
That's an astute observation.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think either ethnicity of people gets laid more. I think if you got game, you get laid more than people who don't have game. And I don't think there's a specific differentiator on what like people or tribe of people has more game than the others. I think one game is different depending on who you are, but also like the idea that one like tribe or whatever gets laid more than the other one is nonsensical. People who have game get laid more than people who don't have game. That's just the philosophical axiom of relationships, period.
I mean, honestly, I feel as though Africans have the gift of gab. I feel like they really want it, they're gonna get it. So I would say Africans get laid more.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yes, I actually would agree. No, I live in an apartment that is predominantly Africans and African Americans, and most of the African people I see walking around has a lot of kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, we got here somehow, so.
Yes.
There might be a lot of different types of American women who might judge African men and would not want to sleep with them.
Yeah, I would say probably black men.
Black men?
They be out here.
Who is that girl? Where are you from, shorty? God damn.
Oof.
You're gorgeous.
Oh, holla at your boy.
Yeah.
I feel like African men be presenting as more got it together too. You know what I'm saying?
The Nigerians,
Like,
especially.
yeah, shoulders up. You feel me?
Yeah.
Chin up.
Yeah.
Like they walk around with confidence.
Exactly.
Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
How do you feel about the term African American?
It just feels a little confusing simply because to me, the African American culture and the African culture does not have camaraderie like I feel like we should. And I always feel like I don't really identify with African American because that part of the African side don't really embrace me. So I'll be like, I'm black.
Okay. I mean, I would embrace you. You're cool people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I don't like when some people say it.
When like the super allies say it.
Yeah, African Americans. It's like,
For like black people in America, like we are as American as it gets because we've been here for better or for worse since the creation of the country. Versus like when you say like African Americans, it kind of denotes like a generation ago, this generation, 2 generations ago, they're from a different country. But it's like, no, we've been here longer than like half the white people have been here.
All right, going back to what the first guy said about there not being the camaraderie that he feels like there should be there, I completely 100% agree with that. I think there's this idea, especially, and it's pervasive amongst Africans and the older generation of Africans, in that we are in some way different from African Americans. And I think it's super stupid, especially like for people who generally have the same experiences as immigrants who come to this country and are pretty much treated like shit. I would know, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, especially because like African Americans are also in this country treated like shit in a way. And it's not necessarily by one specific group of people, it's just a perception of Africans and black people in general. And I'm not in any way trying to like play the victim here. It's just something that I notice in general that it's like you would think that people who experience the same things in this country would be able to identify with one another and have some sort of camaraderie, because I think in times of struggle and in times of pain and in times of being able to like identify people's shared experiences are kind of what should bring you together. But the fact that there isn't that camaraderie between Africans and African Americans is something that I find very perplexing. And I don't know exactly what to do about it or if there can be anything that is able to be done about it. But it is, as a matter of fact, there, and it's very, very real.
Child, have you ever used the term African booty scratcher?
Absolutely not.
Yo, I used to get called this so much, like in third, fourth, and like fifth grade. This was like the big tease, like, and little kids can be really, really vicious with this. And I remember like hating this so much that it was just like, yo,
How dare you?
who like, who told you that I was an African booty scratcher? And looking back on it, it's super, super funny. But when I was younger, yo, I used to get so mad about this. You have no idea.
I was called that.
Me
I was
too.
definitely like African booty scratcher. People used to call me Midnight.
I got called Midnight too.
Oh, Dark Vader.
Yeah, me too. And I
They
love
used to
Star
call
Wars.
me. You
don't like
I
Star
would never
Wars?
watch it because of that.
Look, you can see from both of these two people's experiences that they are like they're clear mirror images of one another. It's like you've experienced the same things as that he's experienced as well. So the fact that, and this isn't like specified to them, like it is something that is pervasive throughout all of Black culture and African culture, is that, yo, we are experiencing the same exact things. For there to be this sort of like perceived divide amongst us is completely ludicrous to me, and it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Vader, Darth Vader. Darth Vader?
Okay, so
Wait, what's
Darth
his name?
Vader. His name is Darth, D-A-R-T-H, but people would call me Dark
I'm
Vader.
sure Black people does not know his name is D-A-R-T-H.
They knew enough to call me that.
They call me D-A-R-K, Dark Vader.
Oh, maybe it was a combination of both. I know they called me that, though. I knew what they were saying.
It was a play on words.
Yeah, probably.
I just think Black people didn't know, to be honest.
No, the Black people, I mean, I don't know. My elementary school, they knew.
I think they knew.
They knew.
I don't think they knew.
What does the N-word mean to you? Do you think you take offense to it as much as African Americans do?
Depending on the context. I've seen people consciously not say it around people that they view threatening or like, oh, that's a real black person versus like, oh, Abdul, he's fucking the
They think
engineer
you're like
Abdul.
unharming. They
Yeah,
think you're cool.
I'll sing along with this song, and I'm like, oh, Abdul said it was cool with me. That shit pisses me off. Yeah.
N-word, I don't feel strongly about it the way some people feel about it. And here's the thing. There are certain people, obviously, we know who they are, they will not be named, who cannot say the N-word. But as opposed to like other people being able to say the N-word or like me resonating or feeling like a certain type of like disgust at people saying the N-word, even if they're singing along the like lyrics of a song, I just don't feel that strong like rage that I'm sure maybe some like African American people feel when hearing it because well, I guess I can also dissociate from it because I wasn't necessarily the descendant of a slave because I am generation immigrant. I don't necessarily have that same animosity toward people who use the N word. And I remember actually, now that I think about it, one of my white friends asking me one time if it was okay to say the N word. And I started looking at her a little bit funny because I was like, well, wait, do you think it's okay, one, especially because you're white, to say the N word? Or two, it got me also thinking, it's like, wait, if I wasn't here, would you be saying the N word? That got me thinking of a certain way. I was like,
Interesting.
I gotta start looking at you a little bit funny because it was like the fact that you even had to ask if it was okay got me feeling some type of way, and I can understand African American people feeling a certain type of way when it's different like ethnicities or different ethnicities of people trying to say the N word. But I have just never felt like a strong like animosity toward people using that word until I heard that word like come out of my white friend's mouth, and it was like, yeah, something's wrong with that. I don't know. I guess.
I hate that word, but have I used it with the A sound before? Yeah, with my close friends.
Can I? I don't like. I don't like. I don't like when Africans say it.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't like when Africans say the N word.
With the just any type of way?
We're different. I do hear you and understand you, right? Every African, I promise you, every African that says the N word, I tell them, do your parents say it? And they all be like, hell no. And I'm like, so why do you?
Never.
I see where he's coming from in saying that, but we're not different. We're not very different. Like, I mean, some of us maybe speak different languages, obviously, but that's probably the only real difference that I can see. And maybe most of us, and this is probably going to be a little bit controversial, but I don't really care. I'm going to say it anyway. More the family values are probably the only other major difference that I see between African culture and African American culture, in that most of us are raised with our fathers. That's probably the only major difference, and that's just a circumstantial thing. I don't think there is many like glaring differences outside from those two between Africans and African Americans. I could be wrong, so listen, let me know in the comments, but I doubt it.
Parents say it, my grandparents say it, they grandparents say it. No African parents, grandparents, and
Yeah, I would say mine
you
would
get what I'm
never.
saying?
Yeah.
So we gotta work hard to get rid of it. It's like y'all picking it up because it sounds fun.
I'm glad that you shared that with me because I never heard someone have an issue with African people saying that word.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
You gotta work hard to get rid of it, but you also use it freely, and you're okay with other people that are within your family using it, and you don't necessarily have an issue with it. So I think that's a little bit hypocritical to say that you work hard to get rid of it while simultaneously using it and feeling that it's okay for you to use it.
Please get your shot ready at this show. At this.
Talk your shit, twin.
Name 10 African countries in 30 seconds or take a shot.
Ooh, 30 seconds? You're rude.
You got 30 seconds to try.
That's not a lot of time, actually, for someone who's had tequila. But
You can try it.
I don't know the difference of countries and cities.
We'll find out.
All right, 10 African countries in 30 seconds. Nigeria, Ghana, Eritrea, Somalia, Somalia, Mali, Morocco. Is Morocco a country? We'll see. Egypt, I got three more. Madagascar, what else? Papua New Guinea, and wow, fuck. One more. Libya. Is Libya a country? We'll see. Hopefully that was within 30 seconds.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Is Zimbabwe one?
Ethiopia, Ghana, Nigeria,
Niger, Chad,
Somalian, Nigeria,
Kenya.
It's really sad that I was born in Nigeria and it was really hard for me to name 10 countries, even though there's over 40. Like that.
That's tragic.
Yo, I need to reevaluate my priorities.
Zambia. Somalia.
halfway there.
No, it was 10 or 5.
It's 10.
Damn, you're crazy.
What about that guy?
Nigeria.
West Africa.
That's a region.
It's okay. Go ahead and take the shot. It's fine.
Zimbabwe. Why am I blanking?
Singhalese. Is that a country? It's a city?
We're close. I'll accept. I know what you meant.
Madagascar, South Africa, Equatorial Guinea, and Mali. Oh, bam.
See?
Senegal.
Senegal. Not Senegalese. I was thinking of my twins.
Lord Jesus.
Who do you think white people dislike more?
Honestly, I still don't think they really know the difference.
In a professional setting, I hear a lot about white folks really preferring to work with Africans because we really are a lot more submissive in a way.
I think they hate black people more than African people.
They hate the descendants of slaves.
All right, I have a real problem with this question, and here's why. The implication in that is that one, only white people are racist, and two, that all white people are racist. Those are two completely phallical things. One, anybody can be racist. Racism isn't something that's unique to just one entity or one species or one ethnicity of people. It is something, it's a mindset. And I remember one time I was talking to this girl actually, and I remember her because we were both black. And I remember her, we were talking about like people that we've like dated in the past or whatever. And I remember her specifically saying that she wouldn't like ever date another like white person, and I was just like, that's something very racist to say. And she said something so stupid that that it was probably the beginning of the end of that, like me talking to her or me ever wanting to interact with her again. She said black people can't be racist because black people have no power. It's like,
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man.
what the fuck are you talking about? Like racism isn't just about like something like and the people who say like systemic race is like, give me a fucking break. How is a system inherently racist? Explain it to me in a way that makes sense. Two, it's like, no, anybody can be racist. I've met so many people who are not white that are like very, very racist, who hold racist beliefs. Racism is about your values and your actions. It's not about some sort of like power dynamic. And I think the only people that say this are people who are trying to, one, find a way to rationalize their racism, or two, trying to find a way to just not be accountable to any kind of like things that they do in regards to race. I think it's completely ridiculous. And especially because when especially talking about this, it's that the notion that like racist white people, the ones that are racist, have like a preference between like who they hate more, whether it's African or African American, is ridiculous. Racist people hate you because of the color of your skin, not because you're African or African American. They don't give a shit where you come from. They see black. Like they see black, they see orange, they see yellow or whatever the fuck it is, and they don't like you based on that. The idea that they like care like what like part of this globe you're from in order to like attribute that to like how they feel about you is completely ridiculous, and we need to stop like making it okay to even like have conversations like, oh, who do you think white people hate more? It's like, no, the people who are racist are racist. They don't give a shit about like where you come from or what part of the globe you come from. They don't care. They're gonna be racist, and nothing that you say or do is going to change their opinion of it.
The model minority myth exists heavily in the African community, to where like they've been brainwashed to think that black is bad, everything else is good. They're the good ones. This is what you should be as a minority. Go to school, be polite, all the respectability politics.
Everybody black, it doesn't matter. Anybody who's perceived as black, they just see us as black people in threat. And the more chocolates you are, the more issues you're gonna have, honestly. Yeah, I don't think they can. Really? Okay, do tell.
I feel like if me and another dude is standing side by side and we get approached by the police, I think that if he has an accent, it's gonna make him less dangerous.
The police?
Yes.
Maybe I missed the question. I just thought you.
Oh, you're right. Well, white people, I think of all white people as police.
This dude is funny. Yeah, this dude is funny.
Period. They all, okay? White people police black people, like, for no reason.
Take a shot if you've ever said Wakanda forever.
Have I? I've definitely have at some point, but like not, like at some point, yes.
I might take a shot with you.
To Chadwick Boseman.
I've never said Wakanda forever. That was my first time saying it, and I will probably never say it again.
When the first movie came out, I took a girl to go see it.
Yeah.
She's African American.
Yeah.
She legit asked me after the movie.
Oh no.
She said, "Are you from Wakanda?" I was just like,
okay. I've never asked that.
I gotta say, this dude on the right looks like he could be African to me. Like born in Africa. Obviously, like African Americans are African, but he looks like he could be born in Africa to me. Like, is that just me?
Am I tweaking?
Like, are you serious right now? Like,
in what ways are Africans misunderstood?
I think we're misunderstood maybe kind of on the topic of like my home country, right? In Ethiopia and having war in Tigray.
Oh, you from Ethiopia, Cody? I gotta visit. Yes, I do. Over there looking good and shit.
My coworker, there's war that just started. He was like, "Oh, but doesn't that happen all the time?" That was his response. Someone I respected and I enjoyed working with him brushed it off.
I'm fully convinced that like some white people I've met still think like most of Africa is just like dirt huts.
yeah, like living in huts, not having water, not really having food.
There's 54 different countries in Africa. It is unfair to just lump all of Africa into one. To like, oh, you said you're from Africa? I have a friend from Nigeria.
Like people aren't interested in the.
I hate what he just said there too, because I think Africa as a continent would be much stronger if we all lumped together and united under one form of Africa. I think that what makes Africa so exploitable is the fact that there are the superimposed borders of certain countries that I think doesn't really help. I think, let's, for example, say someone decided to drop a bomb on Nigeria or something, but that's right next to like Ghana. There is a plausible deniability in that, oh, they were just trying to bomb Nigeria and not Ghana. So we can feel safe, even though, and obviously this is an extreme example, but even though they can dissociate from the fact that, oh, well, our country wasn't the one being bombed. No, the entire African continent is under attack. And the way that the people who divide up the country and divide up the continent and extract its resources is by superimposing those borders and I don't even think anybody knows like exactly why these borders were like imposed in this way. But I would love to see anyone like, or comment in the comment section if you know more about this. I would love to see the origins of these borders, because I think the African continent being divided in the way that it is working to the benefits of people who are trying to extract its resources and not in the benefits of the people who are actually inhabitants of that continent.
Yeah.
How was that? Good. Emotional at the end.
I know.
I don't like that.
I feel warm and fuzzy.
There were some things we agreed to disagree on, but finding that common ground, if we both were called African booty scratchers. That was deep, you know?
And Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we're both chocolate.
Boots.
All right, that's the end of the video. Final thoughts on this. I love having conversations about this because it highlights some of the commonalities amongst the history of Africans and African Americans, and some of the commonalities between our experiences as human beings. And I think there's a way for us to bridge the gap in what we perceive to be the differences between us, because I don't necessarily think there are many large differences or glaring ones between us. I think, especially when it comes to the idea that racism affects one group more than it affects the others, I don't think that's true whatsoever. I think racism affects both groups of people equally, and I don't think there are people who are racist who identify that Africans are more desirable than African Americans. I think that Africans and African Americans get it just as bad. If you're black, nobody gives a fuck about where you come from, especially when it comes to things like job interview. Like that is a profound thing that I just thought about just now too. Is that when you fill out a job application, right? And you're African, do you have some specific like box that you tick to say that you're just African and not like African American? No, it's you're either black or African American. There is no specific box that differentiates black and African American from just African. So the notion that you can even think that we're different is something that is completely ridiculous to me. It's like, no, we're the same. The systems treat us the same. Other people treat us the same unless they find out otherwise. If you liked what you heard today, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you didn't like what you heard, thanks for watching the whole video. Consider leaving a comment in the comment section and telling me exactly what you disagreed with. Either way, thanks for joining me on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.